Good morning, race fans, and welcome to Today at the Races at Old Hilltop Pimlico Racecourse. I'm Tim Tulloch, joined by Keith Fustel. Keith, it's been a while. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well. How about yourself? Good to see you.
Uh, Very good to see you. Hanging in there, excited about the Pimlico meet here, and then moving into Preakness. I love it up here. Pimlico Racecourse, one of my favorite tracks.
Absolutely. And we saw kind of the old Pimlico yesterday, the way that track was playing, Tim. You wanted to be close. You kind of wanted to be near the inside. You know, I said on the early show, you know, you can close some ground here at Pimlico. Boy, did I look like an idiot. But yeah, the track kind of played like that last year. I went back, looked at my notes the first couple of days. Speed held up quite well. Things changed a little bit from there. So we'll just monitor the situation. But obviously, you got to adjust your handicapping. You see, you know, things flowing a certain way. You got to go that way. Sometimes it's hard to pull yourself off of a horse, but sometimes you just have to do that.
It's such a unique oval. It comes up a little bit of a hill to about the 16th pole and then levels off. A long stretch, longer than Laurel
Yep.
is, so there's plenty of ground to make up, but the racetrack will work itself in as the meet goes on. Keith, we've got a big card today, 11 races.
Yeah.
We've got to get right into
Okay.
this, so let's jump in with both feet. Let's start with tomorrow. Big stake day, including the Federico Tessio, a win in you're in for the Preakness, and the Weber City Miss, a win and you're in for the Black Eyed Susan. But throw in 3 turf stakes, the Clark, the Dahlia, and the Leatherberry. We're looking for a big day.
Yeah, it's just tremendous. Like I said yesterday, hats off Trish Bowman, everybody, our new stakes coordinator, and the rest of the racing office really did their work and due diligence and put out a very, very good card for Saturday. Highly competitive races, some talent all the way through. Yeah, Tezia, Weber City Miss. I mean, there's a myriad of ways you could go in both of those races.
There's no doubt about that. And look, the racing office and everybody up against it with the movement of the meet and the movement of the races, and they're still able to pull off a great card for tomorrow. Also, we've got the first Bet Sweepstakes coming up right here from First Bet. Win $20,000 bet on Preakness 146. Play online at Express Bet or First Bet. First Bet there, and earn entries on every bet you make for the First Bet Big Bet Sweepstakes coming up here. Your details, go to firstbet/bet/promotions, and you'll get all your information right there. Also, Triple Crowns coming up. We know it. We're a couple weeks away from the Kentucky Derby, and we've got Triple Crown days at Laurel Parks, the Silk Simulcast Room. Derby Day, Saturday, May 1st. Preakness, Saturday, May 15th. And, of course, Belmont Stakes on Saturday, June 5th. Tickets $15. See guest services or go to laurelpark.com for more information on Triple Crown Days at Laurel Park. Well, Keith, it's Friday. It can only mean one thing, and that's Stronach 5. It's Stronach 5 Friday. And this week we host the first 2 legs of the Stronach 5. Leg A and B are race 8 and 9. And then we go to Gulfstream Park for leg C, their race 8. Out to Santa Anita Park for race 3, leg E. And then leg D, Golden Gate Fields, their race 3. Looking forward to that. I'll have a ticket later on. Keith?
Yes.
It's still a little chilly out there.
Yeah.
But the weather's pretty good.
Yeah, the wind has died down considerably from yesterday. The sun is out, which is I like that. So yeah, yesterday I had a little bit of snow coming down, some flurries almost right before we started the show. But yeah, 53 right now. Track looks great. Turf looking awesome right now. So yeah, it looks like a great day for racing. Get out on the apron, enjoy the live action.
There's always a great day of racing.
Yep.
No matter what, but looks really good, and it's great to be back up here in Baltimore. Let's get going. Race 1 kicks off the early pick 5. Races 1 through 5, mandatory payout, 50-cent minimum, 12% industry low takeout. Also, race 1 will kick off the Super High 5 this afternoon. Every race with 7 or more runners. Super High 5 wagering is available. Race 1 is for fillies and mares, claiming price $12,500, going 3/4 of a mile. Keith, you have the 6 on top in this event, and that is Grace Isabella, Robin Graham, Ty Liapacino. Excuse me, you don't have the 6
Yeah, I
on
get
top.
the 3. I was like,
you got
whoa,
the 3
wait a
on
minute.
top.
I did use the 6.
3 on top, 9 martinis. On the top, as I do, Kieran McGee, Kieran Cedeno.
Yeah.
This one gets back to a fast track this afternoon.
Absolutely. Real quick before we go any further, that early pick 5 jump in yesterday, $20,000 for a 50-cent ticket. big payout. All first four were logical horses, and a couple of my buddies they had mentioned the Saray horse that blew up the toe to 21. I said, man, guys, you should have hooked it up with the early pick five. What a payout there with the low takeout. So jump in every day on that early pick five. Yeah, real quick in the first, because we're going to have to fly through this card.
Yep.
9 Martinis, I think, is going to be the higher price of the uncoupled Kieran entry, right? For Super C, I think getting back to a fast track positional speed, we'll be able to draft towards the inside and stalk and pounce in the opener. Speed could be provided by Mary's Jewel and Swirly Shirley. I'll throw into the mix, Tim. This horse, it looks like maybe a little bit of a race for her. She's just consistent, and consistency,
yes.
There's something to be said for that. She's got positional speed and a finish. I like her here as well. 3, 1, 6, 7 for me. Looks like we got the same numbers.
We've got the same numbers to get the party started this afternoon. 9 Martinis, I agree with you. Getting back onto a fast racetrack is going to make all the difference for this Kieran McGee trained runner. Race 2, $8,000 claimer, 3/4 of a mile for 3-year-olds and upward. And Keith, you have the 5 on top, Federale for Anthony Ferrier. This one salvaged a recent decent finish after not getting away the best.
Yeah, I like the fact you've got this horse into the mix as well. I think he's going to escape at a good price. Anthony Ferrier, the barn was a little chilly. He has now picked things up in the last couple of weeks. I like that. He's done very well second off the claim. Federer had an excuse last time. Got away slowly, broke in the air, and was on a track that was definitely holding the speed up. I like how they hold the level. Took a lot of play in there. You're going to get value comparatively to some of these horses that beat him last time. There is speed in here, plenty of speed. You've got Jack Bow, and you've got Higher Purpose. They are very, very quick early. They can establish a quick pace, looking to stalk and pounce. I'm thinking Federale and maybe the 1-5 draw, who's I think we've got video of that one. He's in very good form and has gotten very good rides here by Grant Whitaker of late. We're going to go back to March 20th and watch the race at 7/8 of a mile. We're going to back up a furlong for this race this afternoon. But again, look at Grant, just patient, saving ground, is going to work the trip out through the final 1/8 of a mile, secure command, and just get beat. I think he won this race, but yeah, just gets beat here by Balavar. We might have had Balavar that day for Mancia dropping. Another good trip, though. I mean, 7/8 might have pushed the limits, maybe. I don't know. He was dead game there. I like him shortening back up to the 6 and the way this track was playing behind me. Yeah, he's going to be able to stalk and make a move into it.
We'll talk about it a little bit later, but I favor these horses that are stabled at Pimlico a little bit. And the 5-card draw is certainly one who's run back-to-back lifetime best figures for Mario Saray, who came with a big one yesterday, if you recall. Race 3, maiden 40, maiden 3-year-old, 3, 4, and 5-year-olds going 3/4 of a mile. Keith, you like the 6 on top. This is a Miracle Bobby for Ferris Allen. Alexander Crispin gets the call, coming off a little bit of a layoff, well beat in his last start.
Yeah, I just think, the logical horses, I guess, are the 7 Flank Speed and the 9 Hello Amigo. But why not this horse? Freshened up, Miracle Bobby, ran against the likes, of Karen's Notion going back in July in that debut. Brings a lot of speed to the table. I think this horse is okay in here. Might be able to shake free and go coast to coast. Going to be the price, going to be the value of those 3 horses. Certainly the 7 and 9, you can't really knock their form terribly. 7 comes out of a good race, ran against a race at Penn National, gets a Trombetta runner who ran pretty well here for 25.
And the 9, Hello Amigo for Rodney Jenkins, my top pick. Just hangs around. Maybe this is a field that he can handle this afternoon.
Absolutely. I think we'll be able to drop in a little bit with some speed to his inside, save a little ground. Yeah, he doesn't bring a big finish. I think they're just going to have to slowly come back to him. I don't know if he's going to do a lot surging, but he certainly works. Fig's working here.
He's going to grind out a race sooner or later, and it could be sooner than later this afternoon at Pimlico. Race of 4 for 3-year-olds, claiming price $16,000, going 5.5 furlongs. The 2 Silver Sung, Marilyn McMullen, J.D. Acosta. Keith, you have a middle pick 4 ticket for us. I was almost skipping it, but let's take a look.
Yeah, J.D. Acosta with a double yesterday, right? The early double, good for him. I saw him and said, hey, J.D., you like any? Yeah, I like the first 2. Yeah, you got yourself a $26 double, I believe. Good job. He rides hard, JD. Really like him. He's a good guy. 1, 2, 3 to get you started in race 4. We're going to go 3 deep. Race 5, spread a little bit further at 1, 2, 4, and 10. You can see how we're going to try to do this and whittle it down to the single. Race 6, 3 deep again with the 1, 2, and 9. My single is going to be juror number 4 in race 7. I tell you, a couple speeds came out of there, and it's going to make proper tire a little tougher on the front end. But juror number 4 has some tactical speed, and a little freshening I think is going to be really good here off the bench. $18 for the middle pick 4, I should say. Middle pick 4.
Middle pick 4. And a lot rides on juror number 4 because juror number 4 is my single on my rainbow pick 6 as we move into race 4 going 5.5 furlongs. Keith, you have the 2, Silver Sun on top, Marilyn McMullen, 6-1 on the line, J.D. Acosta rides.
Yeah, this is a horse they claimed back for 10 and just would never drop. 25, 25, 25, long, short. This is a race that's, again, got plenty of speed. Some horses that really bust out of the gate hard. Stretch the Truth is very fast. So dialed in, Cahoes, it brings a lot of speed to the table. I've been waiting for this horse to drop. I hope it's just not too little too late, and not going to be able to get it done. But the horses that he keys up against, they work for me in here. A little freshening. This is a barn we talk about it time and time again. Doesn't run a lot of horses, but a high ROI type of stable. I think he's going to be able to, with JD, get into position by top of the stretch. I don't want him trying to make up 5 lengths from the quarter pole home. If he can get within a couple, I think he can wear this speed down because they're going to be whistling early.
And we've talked about that before. I mean, sometimes when these horses run a little bit over their head too many times, when they do drop back down, they don't have the kick and the punch that they really should have if they've gotten to that level a little bit earlier. But Marilyn McMullen, as you mentioned, sneaky good, and when they come in, they usually come in at a pretty good price. I have the 1, Stretch the Truth on top. Just very, very well spotted today after breaking his maiden for $25,000.
Yeah, Park's horses for Claudio, they haven't really been lighting the board up a lot lately, but the ones here have been doing just fine. So Stretch the Truth, I'm willing to forgive that. I've got this horse line too high. I went back 9-2. I think this horse could be 5-2, maybe 3 when it's all said and done. Maybe that inside speed's playing really good, even lower. But, yeah, I think he goes a little bit further than what he did his last couple.
2-3 for Keith in race 4, 1-8 for myself as we move to race 5, 2 lifetime $5,000 claiming event going 3/4 of a mile. And Keith, you have the 2, Bourbon Bryce on top. Benny Feliciano trains. Johan Rosado gets the call. And look, this one's just perfectly spotted off that maiden win in the 2 lifetime for a nickel.
Robert Coley likes to win races and win races in bunches, tries to keep that percentage up. And this horse was running at maiden 5s, right, at Charlestown. This is the right spot. They called a little bit of a softer maiden 16 down to 12.5 last time, but was really game. I mean, he was dead game, was challenged through the stretch, like the way this horse held on. I don't know if he needs to lead either. I think he can sit just off of it. He has a little bit of trouble out of the gate. Yeah, I'll run it right back. Took him a long time to get through the maiden ranks. Maybe we see this time and time again. They pair it up. So I'll come back with Bourbon Bryce. My price play, though, is the 4, 57 Chevy. I did not like this horse being sent last time. I prefer this horse to settle and come back. I'm not going to give up on him. He was 6-1 last time. Took some play. You're going to get upwards of 20-1 on this horse today.
I like the 1. What's the chances? First time off the claim for Carlos Sepulveda. Javier Toledo gets the call. Just getting back to a fast racetrack. Has some nice races over a fast racetrack.
Absolutely. I mean, that little light last time, I can give a little excuse. But the 2 back, 3 back, all those races are good. Just the barn change, just not really familiar with the trainer. So it's a horse. His form has been so consistent, especially against this type. He's hard to leave out of the exactas and tries.
A local sharp work, 47-1 right here at Pimlico on the 6th of April. Race 5, 2-4 for Keith. 1-10 for myself in race 5 as we move to race 6. Race 6 kicks off the Rainbow Pick 6. We have a little bit of a carryover, $11,736. I'll have a ticket for you later on this afternoon. Race 6 is for fillies and mares 3 and up, which have started for a claiming price of $25,000 or less and never won 2 races. Going 3/4 of a mile. Keith, you go to the outside, and the 9, Devilish Affair, Bob Vukovic. Forrest Boyce gets the call. Came off a long layoff in his last start. Her last start, and didn't run a bad effort at all.
Didn't run bad, and reunited, right, with Forrest Boyce today. She knows this horse. This filly's doesn't have a lot of speed. There's speed up front in front of her, and I think Forrest is going to be able to draft in and save some ground. If I see this horse 4 wide at the 3/8 pole, I'm not going to give her too much chance. But I think if she can drop in early, settle off of it, Trip to Freedom at first glance looks like the horse that she should just get to the front and whistle. I tell you what, Miss Obey's pretty quick in her own right through that opening quarter of a mile. She might bring the heat to Trip to Freedom, and Trip Out could be my bottom horse, Devilish Affair. You go back, she's got races on her page, figures that work that she can rally into, and she keys up against the right time. Look at us, only beaten 4 by Quiet Imagination, Long Point Beach, Magical Luna. She's running against the right kind in the past, and I like her back with Forest Boys.
And before we get to Fancy Princess, we do have the 3. We do have a video spotlight of. Trip to Freedom just simply hasn't run back to that maiden score. Came close a couple times. Is going to need a little bit better. I agree with you. I have Miss Old Bay as my price play of the day. I love the fact that I give these Pimlico horses a little bit of an edge. We'll talk about that later once again, but coming in here with some strong works. The 3 Fancy Princess you have in the mix. We have a video spotlight from February 21st. We're going to pick this one up at the quarter pole.
Yeah, Reclaim after a big blowout maiden score in early February. And, she didn't have a real comfortable trip here on the 21st. Was up with the pace, dropped back just a little bit, a rebid to the inside. And she was against the bias this day. The 21st, you wanted to be towards the outside that afternoon. And look at her. She's still willing through this final 16th of a mile, really not giving up much. That bodes well here. I think she can sit a trip. She doesn't quite have the speed early as a Trip to Freedom, certainly as Miss Old Bay, but once again, she's stabled here. She knows this racetrack. She's going to draft into a ground-saving trip, and I think can rally into it for a piece.
A very interesting race in race 6. I think I went 4 deep on my Rainbow Pick 6 to get it started this afternoon. Race 7, before we get to race 7, we need to take a quick break, so let's go to that now.
And they're off. Second in the 2-path. Round on her inside. Race. A quarter of a mile to go, and he's 6 on top. Last of the 12 as they roll into the backstretch.
Welcome back, friends, to Today at the Races. Race 7 kicks off the late pick 5. No carryover from yesterday, but as always, 50-cent minimum, 12% takeout, and industry low. Race 7, a state-bred allowance race going 3/4 of a mile. Keith, we got some key scratches in here. Take out the 1 Nightlife, who was my original top pick. The 3 Bethabara.
Okay.
And the 9, I believe Margie's Heaven, has come out. It wasn't on the scratches, but re-entered for Sunday. So I believe that one is out. Look, the race goes through the 2, juror number 4, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I tell you, it's going to have to lay a little bit closer than what she did in the Maryland Juvenile Filly Championship, but I think she will. She's fresh. You look back at her 2-back try against Bucky's Charm, Live and Let Live. A horse has come back and run some pretty respectable numbers. She's got that tactical speed. She's working forwardly to this. I think the Russell combination with Cassius King as your owner is going to be very, very difficult to beat. But I tell you, proper tire's pretty quick. With the scratch of Margie's Heaven, some of her figures don't really match up that greatly, but I tell you, she's been game as can be her last couple of races, and the way that racetrack played yesterday, it could carry her a long way. And don't leave out the 4. Be good.
We do have that video for juror number 4, last start, where she just got beat by Street Loop.
Yeah, let's look at that. 5-2 now. She's going to probably be in that 7-5 range, maybe even lower with these scratches. But this particular afternoon on December the 5th, I had to come wide. You see the run 6 wide, closed well, straightening out and leveling off through the last 1/8 of a mile. Big effort here by Street Loop. But I tell you, take nothing away. Juror number 4 is a nice filly. She's got some talent, and I think she's going to be showing it. It'll be on display this afternoon.
Well, it certainly looks like a good spot for juror number 4. We talked about the 4 a little bit here. Be Good, Rodney Jenkins, lifetime effort in her last start, but certainly looks like she's going to have to come up with a bit better.
Yeah, Rodney doing well, right? She's going to have to move up just a little bit more, but once again, she should trip out. She should have the right kind of flow, save some ground, and she's bringing a little bit more finish in her race. She's an improving type here for Rodney.
Race 7 kicks off the late pick 5. This afternoon, Keith and I both on the 2. Juror number 4 for the Russells as we move to race 8. And race 8 kicks off the Stronach 5 right here at Laurel Park. Leg A, our race 8. Leg B is our race 9. We go to Gulfstream Park for Leg C, their race 8. Leg D out to the Great Race Place, their race 3, and then to San Francisco to finish it off in Leg E, race 3 at Golden Gate Fields. I put together a ticket this afternoon for the Stronach 5, and this is how I played it. I go 3 deep here in Leg A. I use the 1, the 6, and the 9. 3 deep again in race, our Leg B, our race 9, 1, 3, and 7. Gulfstream Park, a Leg C, 3, 7, and 8. I single in Leg D at Santa Anita on the 5. Another Eddie out there. Mario Gutierrez gets the call. Remember Mario from I'll Have Another fame right here at Old Hilltop. And then, of course, in Leg DE, I go 3 deep. I use the 2, 6, and the 7. $81 ticket for the Stronach 5. It will be well played today, and we are Leg A and B. You get through those 2 legs, you might be able to get the whole rest this afternoon. Leg A, as race 8, is a maiden 40 event for 3-year-old fillies going 3/4 of a mile. Keith, you are on the 9.
Yeah.
Edie, Meanie, Miney, Mo, Miguel Vera. This one's been working up here with some scorching half-mile work.
See what Robin's got in store. This horse is about 3 in front past the 8th pole, right? Edie, Meanie, Mighty Mo. Love the name. Moonrock got it done yesterday from Miguel Vera first time out. Looked good doing it. She as well was a 3-year-old filly, and I'm sure she has spent some time working alongside Edie, Meanie, Mighty Mo. This is a $400,000 purchase last year. Yeah, at the 2-year-old training sale. Was bought for $120,000 as a yearling. You see the breeding Plum. We know her. Certainly very productive. Have to Toy wanted to go a little bit longer, but these upstarts are running well right out of the box. You know, you spend $400,000 on a horse, you better have yourself a runner. I think they do. Going back and reading about from some quotes from the consigner, it was very high on this filly. So yeah, I think she comes in with this work 46-4 breezing. She'll be ready to go. I like how they do this. They go in this maiden 40, get the waiver, right? Maybe even a little bit softer spot from that maiden special weight to get that experience first time out. So yeah, I'll take the 9.
A good draw toward the outside, breaking between horses. The 2, Sizzling Hot. You have in your exacta, the first-time starter for Mary Epler. Katie Davis gets the call. Again, working locally, you have to give these horses consideration.
Now, this family, it's a good family. Have to 12-time winner Purely Hot. Now, she might have been a little bit better on the synthetic, but she was also good on the dirt. Steamy Hot, who has a lot of talent. We saw that one a couple years back, showed a lot of talent there. But Catheros, again, a stallion I like with horses early on in their career. He's about 15%. Family works. Trainer works for me. Yeah, and I think the price is going to be okay.
I have the 1, Oxbow Creek on top. Take out the 1A, Mountain Lily, the other half of the entry. First-time starter for Mark Reed. Carol Cedeno gets the call. Look, comes in with a good, solid work tab. No doubt about that. And a good, solid 5-ace on April 9th.
Absolutely. I got to respect that. And going back real quick with Sizzling Hot for Mary, yeah, 2 debut winners from 6 starters as well with a 3rd. So there's another little breeding note for Sizzling Hot. It's a good race. Definitely going to be some talent in here. It looks like some horses with some futures.
Good race to get the Stronach 5 kicked off. Go deep. Go deep. This race could go a lot of different ways here to start the Stronach 5 as we move on to race 9, which is Leg B of today's Stronach 5. Claimer, $40,000 claimer for 3-year-olds going a mile and a 16th. We're going to start with your top pick. Keith, this is a Luxero for Claudio Gonzalez, and we're going to take a quick look at his last race from March 6th, and we're going to pick this up about midway through the turn.
Yeah, midway through the turn. And I tell you, we've got a chance here this afternoon in race 9 to get Claudio a little bit of a price. A couple scratches, the 4 Triple Tito's and the 6 Wicked Finn. Luxero dropped. This is my only question. Dropped off a very good race, right? That was a little odd. It was $1.50 to 1 here, but settles, runs another good effort. Comes back, splits rivals here at the quarter pole. Going to encounter a little bit of trouble through the final 1/8 of a mile. You're going to see the comment here. Going to have to alter out. And that was Twitty City out battling for the lead. Lost my voucher. Drifted in a little bit behind rivals. Watch this coming late. Horses kind of come together, the 2 leaders. Going to have to shift out to the outside, but closes up quite well. I was hoping Triple Tito's would stay in to provide a little bit more flow to this race, but Luxero at that kind of price is hard to resist for me with that inside draw.
The 7 Omadi, my top pick for Dale Bennett, came off a layoff in his last start. good-looking effort at this level, and has had a nice work right here at Pimlico.
Yeah,
since.
Omadi, big effort last time, and two-back try was pretty good. The Lasix went on last time out, was able to kind of control it. Look at the internals, 24-4, 49-1. That race was kind of done once they passed about the half-mile pole. Omadi dug in and turned away any challenges. Yeah, but you've got the tricky horse. You've got this horse in the mix as well for me is American Fleet. Showing some talent, obviously, the last couple times here for Ness on that barn change. Didn't beat a ton last time out, but did it impressively. Coming back to a fast track. Was that a slop track aberration? We don't know, but looks like some talent is there. You've got Sheldon aboard. Yeah, he's going to be tough to lead as well.
That's a question because it is by Tisnow out of Tapit Mare. Mm-hmm. And look at that Tomlinson number.
Yep.
Huge.
Mm-hmm.
So the slop could certainly have moved this one up, but interesting to see what American Fleet will do this afternoon in race 9. 1-3 for Keith, 7-1 for myself. I have the 7 Omadi on top. We talked about that one as we move to race 10, and we're going to get started with the 2 Desportes for Kieran McGee. Carol Sedaniel gets the call. And we're going to look at a race from January 18th there, Keith, and we're going to pick it up at the quarter pole.
Yeah, let's pick it up from the quarter pole. You see the short comment, rail, ask, upper stretch, ridden out against starter competition. I tell you, was able to really control things. This was first off the claimed this horse from Weaver for 16 and dominated. Big number, 78, has not been able to come back to that. But I like the fact that Kieran sticking with this filly and giving her another shot, and she catches the right kind of field. Basically a fairly paceless race, going a mile in the 16th moon safe. Yeah, I showed it, going a mile, breaking the maiden, but they were pretty quick, using the speed to its advantage. I think she can control things here.
I like her going back 2 turns. I mean,
okay.
that was a big race at 78 on January. The whole pace scenario changes, and I think you're right. She can control things from that good inside draw going a mile 16th. I have the 4 Ski Bunny on top. This one's stretching back out, and this is another one that gets better going 2 turns.
Absolutely. Used her last time. Just that flow took a little bit out of her, made that move into a quicker pace and just couldn't quite sustain. Things are going to be a little bit more to her liking up front today, which will carry her run a little bit more sustainable here at a mile and a 16th.
We'll move to the nightcap, race 11 on our big 11 race card. What a nice card. Very, very busy this afternoon. We're going to start with the 7 Charm City Band for Hugh McMahon, Katie Davis. Hey, look, this one's been running into some pretty good runners. Odds On, Redeem Eddie, Whiskey and You. Have you heard of that one? Who's in red hot form. Russell's doing things. And good figures.
Yeah, we've got a little stat here, too, for Hugh McMahon. Now, granted, this was at the 5.5 distance. I know this race is at 5/8, but pretty close. We're going to go with this. Last 3 years on the dirt, 4 for 16, 25%, 11 for 16 the money, 5.5 furlong tries following this kind of break, 61 to 180 days. I wish he was drawn a little bit further inside. He's going to have to get position. He had a little issue out of the gate last time out. He's going to need to break clean and get right up with it. I don't care if he's like too wide leaving the far turn. If he's 3 deep in vying, I'm going to be a little bit concerned. But I like him fresh, a little bit of a drop here for Hugh McMahon. Look at the 2-back, 3-back numbers against those kind of horses. Russell doing things and the like. So I'll come back with Charm City Band.
The 5 Zen Pie, maybe not the last 2 races, his best races. But simply the races are there. You go a 3, 4, and 5 back.
Yeah,
he's better.
Yeah, he's that chasing type. And here, the field's going to have to come back, and there's a chance that it will. Pretty consistent numbers. He hasn't really kind of come back to that 73. But Dale's sticking with him. So yeah, I think against this race, he can just kind of run even and pick up a piece.
Sharp work, 47-3 down there at Laurel. That's a very sharp work for a Dale Capuano, a trainee. That will do our 11 race card this afternoon. Remember, Stronach 5 gets started in race 8 as leg A here at Laurel Park. Well, Keith, we've come to what's turning into my favorite part of the show, the lightning round. I must be getting, there we go. I must be getting a little hang of it because I didn't get any nasty grams from production this week, so that's always good. Let's start with Pimlico. We talked about it a little bit during the show. the Pimlico horses, do they have an edge, and is it a substantial edge when we come up here?
Yeah, I tell you, it seems to be a little bit of an edge. I like that. You saw it yesterday where the horse likes to rate a big price. We saw 3 or 4 of them, right? Stabled here. You're going to see
3 winners.
See Miguel Vera with his firster today, getting that experience in the morning. So I do think it's a little bit of an edge. I discussed it with my buddy Joe Gass, one of my fellow handicappers that we toss around some ideas in handicapping, and I respect his opinion. Definitely, he took that edge and took advantage of it yesterday with that horse.
So pay attention to the horses that are stabled at Pimlico. Look at their works. I do think it makes a difference, at least early in the meet, for sure, until a couple of these other horses get some races over the track. 3 winners yesterday for Pimlico-based horses. Big day tomorrow, Keith, and let's start talking about the Weber City Miss, Little Stitious, and Fraudulent Charge. We're going to go back to the Beyond the Wire race. Do you have one of these two, or do you have someone different?
I tell you, I might go Hybrid Eclipse. I got to dig a little deeper into this race. This was a good horse race, though, around the racetrack. But I tell you, Little Stitious did really have a great trip. Sat the trip. Sheldon got this horse into rhythm. A lot of dirty work was done up in front of her. So Fraudulent Charge, read some quotes from Lacey. I think they are definitely high on this one, getting out to 2 turns.
Yeah, I think so. And but Little Stitious has been successful at 2 turns before. She was my top pick in the Beyond the Wire, so I guess I'm going to stick with Little Stitious tomorrow afternoon. The Federico Tessio winning. You're in for the Preakness Stakes. Here we go again. We've got Shackled Love and May the Horse Be With You. This was a great horse race. You have one of these two or someone different?
I'm going to move probably to somebody towards the inside. I like the inside 3. One of them, Accelerator Tismene Royal Number. I haven't come back to my final decision yet, but these two draw outside. They got out there in a battle, and it's going to be a cat and mouse kind of game, right, Tim? Through that run through the first into and around the first turn to see what they do. There's some other speed just inside of them as well with Hello Hot Rod. Interesting opening quarter, really going to dictate, I think, the outcome of the Tessio. But Accelerator ran well, had a fixed shoe in the paddock last time. Royal Number, I think, with the blinkers on, look for an improved effort here for Trombetta.
This is a really interesting race. Long run to the turn here at going 1 1/8 at Pimlico. But a very, very interesting race. The Reds for John Kimmel coming in. I have that one on top.
Yeah, okay.
But that should be a great race for the win, and you're in for the Preakness Stakes. All right, Keith, we're going to go back in time here a little bit, and we're going to go back, and we're going to look at Secretariat's Wood Memorial here. Now, in the modern-day era of a work more, race less, this is Secretariat getting soundly beat in the Wood Memorial. Now, back then, Keith, this was 2 weeks, 14 days before the Kentucky Derby. Is there a modern-day top trainer who runs Secretariat back in the Kentucky Derby?
Wow. I don't know. Probably not. Nothing comes to mind, right? I mean, it's all 4-6 weeks out, right? I'd say probably not.
I agree with that. Probably not. The Secretary came back in 14 days. Lucian Lauren worked him 3/4 of a mile on the 27th of April in 1:12.1. 2 weeks between the Wood Memorial and the Kentucky Derby. Then came back 2 weeks later in the Preakness. Of course, we know what he did since then. We are in the era of 5 weeks, work more, run less. Yeah. I'm not so sure it's working. We'll see how it goes, but I just thought that was kind of fun to look at and go back to Secretariat.
Fans of the old school, you and I. No doubt.
Yep, the fans of the old school. Well, new school starts today. Big 11 race card here at Laurel Park. Stronach 5 gets started in race 8 as leg A. We've got a big weekend, big stakes tomorrow, big card today. Grass races tomorrow. Keith, we got it all going on.
Fill up those pockets with some money. I can tell you that. The next 3 days going through. My buddy called me actually, Eddie, because I don't know how you're doing the morning lines for these races, Keith. I said I don't know either. I said they are really they're inscrutable. But for the better. This is where, like we say, this is the best part of the game. As opposed to sports racing, you can go bet a little and make a lot. That's the key with horse racing. I love that. The little guy's got a chance.
Yeah, it certainly has a chance over the next few days here at Pimlico Racecourse. That's going to do it for us, for Keith. myself, Dave Rodman, be coming up next with Scratches and Changes.
You got it, everybody. Good luck.